Good morning, Whidbey Island. It's Reed with Whidbey Island Living. And today I am joined by Liz Lange with the center, not the senior center anymore, the center. She is our Oak Harbor Senior Services Administrator and keeps everybody, all our more experienced adults, active and busy.
We sure do. Good morning, Reed.
Good morning. So, Liz, how long have you been with the center?
Yeah, so I started right when I moved here in 2017. I moved here from Juneau, Alaska, and for my husband's job, he works with the county in the planning department. And I found this lovely job working for the city of Oak Harbor here at the center in Oak Harbor. And I started as the program coordinator, and then about 7 months in, became the senior services administrator.
Okay. And so how many people do you guys serve there? I mean, you guys have a lot of different activities going on. We've been in there for a few of them.
Yeah, we really are open to the community. We serve a lot of people within the city boundaries, but also in the county. We have an option for membership. So if you're 50 or older, you can pay $40 for a year, and it's good for a year from whenever you sign up. And that gives you discounts to the different classes and programs and events that we have here. And so, as far as our active membership, we're just about 900 members right now. We had gotten over the 1,000 mark right prior to COVID. And now that we've been building our programs back up, we're back getting really close to that 1,000 mark again. But we have a lot of people who come and utilize services here that aren't necessarily members as well. So our reach is far greater than that 1,000 mark. But we do have about 900 members who pay a membership due for discounts.
Okay. And so if people come to the center, I mean, I imagine a lot of people are totally unaware of your existence. Um, what types of activities do you have? Just what like I know you have things going on in the center, and then you've got trips and stuff that go on. You want to talk about a couple of the things that are people come in for and what they can get out of it?
Oh, yeah, I would love to. So, some of our most popular programs are our fitness classes. We have several fitness classes taught by really great instructors, Enhanced Fitness, and I think I'll chat about that a little bit later. But also yoga and Tai Chi. Our yoga instructor is also runs a local yoga shop downtown, Yoga and Tea. It's the Lotus. Maria, she's awesome. So you can come and get classes from her here as well. We also have a lot of groups that meet to play games like Pinochle and Bunko and Mexican Train and Bridge and Mahjong. So you've got all of those people who love to get together and chat and play games. And then we've got classes like an art group, and we have a history class that's taught by a professor from Skagit Valley College, and she does a quarterly history class on different topics. And we've got our knitters and our crocheters and our quilters. You can come in, we have a pool room, and you can play pool and just drop in and do that. We have clogging classes, line dancing, social dancing classes, ping pong, the list just goes on. I could just list them forever. Yeah, so that's kind of all of our recreation programming right there. And then we also offer other services. So we have lunches here. Right now they're on Mondays and Thursdays, and anyone 50 and over can come for free to lunch and enjoy those meals. We've been
Can't
having
argue
on
with that.
Thursdays. What's that?
Said free lunch. You can't argue about that.
I know people say there's not a lot free in the world of free lunch isn't real, but here it is. It really is. And not only do you get lunch, but you get to meet a lot of people and hang out and chat. We've been having 40 to 50 people come for lunch each time, and they just have a really, really good time. And we've been partnering with some local restaurants like Noe Jose to help provide our lunches on Thursdays. So not only do you get to come and hang out, but we're supporting local restaurants and enjoying good food. So that's another thing we do. We're also a certified passport acceptance agency. So if you have questions regarding renewing a passport, we can take your photo, get you the paperwork, help you there. But also if you're getting a first time passport, or you're under the age of 16 and getting a passport, we process those here for you by appointment. So we do that for the community. Anybody and everyone in the community will help with that. We also have state health insurance benefit advisors. We call them SHEBA. They're volunteers who are highly trained in knowing the ins and outs of Medicare and the different plans. And you can make an appointment to sit down one-on-one with them, review your needs for Medicare, your prescriptions, and they can help you find the right plan and coverage for you. That's amazing. Right now we have AARP free tax aid. So we have tax specialists who are doing taxes for free every Friday. There's a lot going on.
Maybe I need to come hang out a little more often.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and so like the dance classes and some of those things, do those cost money or a small fee for that, or?
Yes, they're very affordable classes. So, like our dance class, Duncan Chalfant teaches that class, and it's once a week on Thursday afternoons. And it's like $25 for members for the month for those 4 classes, but you
Oh,
cannot beat that price.
so
So it's
$6 a class. That's you
exactly very
can't get
affordable.
McDonald's for $6. And you come the other day and
I know,
get free.
right?
Well, that's awesome. That's really, yeah. There's amazing different things that we need to get more people aware of that they can come out.
It's
That's what we're
true.
doing this.
Yeah, no, I'm really grateful for it. It's so funny. After the first several years I worked here, and after answering the phone and answering people's questions and trying to describe where we're at, after hearing so many times, "Oh, you're that building in the next to the pool," I was like, "Oh, we're the building next to the pool. That's what we are." So we really worked hard to have more of an identity in the community than just being the building next to the pool. But you're right. So many people have said, "Oh, I've lived here my whole life and had never known what was in there," and we're getting them in. We're getting a lot of new people, a lot of new members in here. We've, as you more than anyone know that we've had a lot of people moving to the island in the past couple of years. Yeah, and a lot of them have been older adults, retirees over the age of 60. And it's been really great to welcome them in here. We've met so many new people that have come and said, "Hey, we're just new to the island, and this is our starting point. Help us out." And we did. For several months we hosted a new to Whidbey group, and that really got a lot of those new people together and making connections, and then going out and doing things together. So that was really wonderful. We're excited to welcome new people to our island and our community.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So, in the age of AI taking over the world, I decided to ask ChatGPT for a few questions for you. See what
Love
how
it.
ChatGPT is today. So the first one is kind of about you. Is what inspired you to pursue a career in senior services, and what do you find the most rewarding part of that job?
Yeah, it was really interesting. I worked with older adults at a retirement center in Colorado prior to moving to Alaska and moving here, and I really enjoyed it. I was the enrichment coordinator there, and when I left that job, I really didn't think I was going to return to working with older adults. And I went to Alaska and I worked in the nonprofit sector, and I worked in state government, and I worked in tourism, and I enjoyed all of that so much. And so when we moved here to the island, I really thought, wow, I wonder what am I going to do? It's kind of a smaller community. It'll be interesting to see what opportunities are here. And so when I saw this opportunity of returning to kind of where I started and working with older adults, but being able to use all of the skills and knowledge that I had learned from working with nonprofits and fund development and working in tourism with recreational programming, it was just awesome to see that this job was kind of combining all of those, and specifically towards helping the older adults in our community. And I have to say, you know, I've worked a lot with youth as well. I volunteer and work with youth programs, But there is something super special about working with older adults and getting to know them and learn from them, learn with them, and hear the stories of their life and just see how vibrant they are and how much life they want to, just live. It's inspiring to be surrounded by them. And I had my daughter while working here, and it was amazing the sense of community that just everybody was just so interested in my well-being and that of my husband and my daughter, and they threw me a baby shower, and there were like you know 40, 50 grandmas there just loving on us and quilting us blankets. And it just is like, man, where else can you work that you just get that love and support? And it's amazing. This is like the most happy little pocket in all of Oak Harbor right here in this building.
Well, that's fantastic. Yeah, that's really
Mhm.
amazing. Yeah, I looked up when I was researching. I mean, I've known you for a while, but I did looked up your LinkedIn profile and saw some of the things you were doing up in Alaska, and it sounded like you worked a few interesting jobs up there in tourism and stuff. So, so you
Yeah,
brought some of
it
those
was.
skills to here.
Yeah.
So, what do you think are some of the biggest challenges facing seniors here in Oak Harbor today?
Mhm. Yeah, I know exactly what the biggest challenges are, and there's kind of three big hitters there, and really it comes down to isolation, social isolation, falls, so physical falls, and housing, and those seem to be kind of the three biggest things that we kind of hear and see, and where kind of all the other issues stem from. But it's crazy. If you look up, ask Chat GPT, that'd be a great question for them. um, just statistics about falls in older adults and how often falls happen, how often older adults die from falls, how often they're put in the hospital because of a fall, and then how quickly life can decline, their quality of life after experiencing a fall. And we've seen it firsthand, here with members, especially during COVID, just not being involved and as active in things, and then experiencing those falls and really having a struggle to regain their strength and independence after that. And social isolation too is huge. And there's so many studies again and research that shows
Mhm.
how if being socially isolated really affects negatively your cognitive, brain function, and everything, right? And we know that housing is difficult for everybody on island, affordable housing, and our older adults, that they're just as susceptible to that on their fixed incomes. But fortunately, um, we have some really great subsidized senior living options on the island, which is just amazing, here in Oak Harbor and in Coopville and in South Whidbey too. So there really are some great organizations like Opportunity Council who really work to help our older adults make sure that they have housing. But those really kind of are those large three things, and those first two, the fall prevention and social isolation, is really what we focus on here. What the work that we do can really address and overcome those issues for any older adult that comes in and gets involved. So I mentioned the exercise classes a bit ago at the beginning. Our enhanced fitness and our yoga and our tai chi are all evidence-based fall prevention classes. And so what that also means is that insurance companies, they recognize how much they're spending on falls, right? And they're all about saving money. And so, I really look at what we do here as preventative care, and they do too. So they offer programs, and we've partnered with a couple of them so that if you have a certain insurance provider, you can come in and participate in our classes at no cost, and we get reimbursed through the insurance companies. And so that would be like United Health. They do Renew Active. We're a Silver and Fit location, which a lot of Regents, uses, State Farm Insurance, some of their employees or their users have Silver and Fit. So it's really neat to see how many people come and utilize our classes and get to do it at no cost to them.
Yeah, well, that's a really important one. I read the whole falling thing. I remember read an article a couple of years ago about balance, because falling is like the number one thing that will shorten your life, and having good
Yeah,
balance. And
that's
so
great.
being able to stand on one foot without falling, I forgot what the time was, 10 seconds, 20 seconds. And then if you can do it with your eyes closed. So
Yeah,
I brush my teeth. I stand on one foot while I'm brushing my teeth, because that way I do it
that's
every
so.
single day. And I can stand on my one foot for 2 minutes.
Yes, that's excellent. I read this a study that talked towards that as a test. It was like if you can stand on one foot for it was something like 30 seconds, then you'll outlive, 80% of people your age, or so it was some kind of statistic like that that really does show that balance is a huge factor in your ability to stay standing and not fall, right? And these classes, they're a mix of balance, strength, and aerobic. And it's like our enhanced fitness class is an hour long, and we actually have two levels of it. We have a morning 8:45 class, and that one's a little higher tempo, really moving pretty
Mm-hmm.
quickly, not using a lot of extra support, and we do use weights in both classes. And then our 10 o'clock is an enhanced fitness low impact, so you're a little more seated, using more a chair to hold on to. And what's really great is to see people come in and start in that class, the low impact class, worried that they won't be able to keep up with that, but knowing that they've been living kind of a sedentary lifestyle, right? And they need to start moving, or people who maybe have had an injury, they went to physical therapy, they've done all the physical therapy, and now they need to keep moving. This is a great start for that, a great next step. And they come in and they have their walkers and they're a little uneasy. And it's really cool to see after 6 weeks of them coming 3 days a week how they progress. And I mean, the stories I've heard, the people I've seen, it's just amazing. So one of the ways that we can measure that these classes work and what we're doing is working is every 6 weeks in this class we do a fit test, and
Uh-huh.
this is all recorded and reported back to Enhanced Fitness because it's an evidence-based program, right? They want to see these measurements.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is so neat to see somebody who couldn't do one sit to stand in the chair when they started class, and then they're timed for 30 seconds, and now they can do 30 of them up and down, right? After just a couple of months of class. And it's just it's incredible, and it really changes how people live their life. One lady shared with me that she really just felt like she was sitting at home waiting to die. That's what
Mm-hmm.
she said, and she didn't feel comfortable going outside of her house because she was worried about tripping or falling. And her daughter came to visit, saw what was going on, said, "Mom, we're getting you out." Brought her in to see us. She started doing the class, and not only could she then start walking without her walker, she wasn't afraid to go outside on walks anymore, but she also met people in the class that just became great friends and invited her to do things. And she said, "What's that?"
I don't know. Something happened with the sound. I'm going to stop this and restart. We had a little technical difficulty and had to take a little break there. So now that I'm not getting all this feedback, I'm not sure if it was going out to the internet, but it sure as heck was coming out of my computer. So Liz, you were talking about all the services and stuff for these exercise programs to help seniors keep their balance so they don't fall. And the one thing I got out of that was, you said the number one thing was isolation and loneliness, and then number two was falling. And these exercise programs that you have, which I thought was amazing, that many are subsidized by insurance. That's fantastic. But that
Yeah.
they help people with that. But the other thing is, it seems like it's a win-win because they also help people socialize because they're not sitting at home staring at the TV. They're in the center at this class. How many people do you get in one of these typically in a class?
Yeah, right now we're kind of topping out at about 18 to 20, which really is as much as you want in one exercise class because you want the instructor to be able to see everybody, and keep an eye on and just space too. So it's really wonderful. We definitely have, room for more people. We'll be starting some afternoon classes soon too because of the growth and need of the classes. But you are 100% right. They come in, to get strength, but also they're making friendships, and that was the story that I was sharing, and is exactly what happened. Is this lady, and it happens for a lot of people, that they make these connections to become friends, and they'll stay after class and have a coffee and chat. They'll meet up for lunch. They'll go out and do things with the people they meet in class, and become friends, right? Great friends, which also kind of brings us to our travel program. That's another great thing for people to participate in if they aren't feeling connected to the community, if they don't have a friend or social base. And it's so funny because people have said, oh, that trip that you do, I'm really interested in going, down to the play in Seattle that you're going to, but I don't have anyone. As one of our volunteers. Am I frozen?
You were, but now you're back. Maybe.
Maybe, yeah.
Internet.
Our volunteer. Can you hear me?
Yep. I hear you.
Okay. Okay, I'll just keep rolling. Then the volunteer who was helping her sign up or talking to her at the front desk said, "Oh no, you're not going alone. You're on a bus with 20 other people, and you're all going to eat lunch together, and you're all going to go to the show together." She said, "That's what I always thought. I didn't want to go alone, and then I realized I don't. I get on that bus, and as soon as I get on the bus, I'm part of that group, and I meet people, and that's how it is." And so it just is really a beautiful, wonderful place and thing for people.
That's fantastic. I mean, you keep coming. There's more, and there's more, and there's more. Well, that's awesome. So, can you kind of give me? I know you got a lot of trips going on. You have some local ones. I mean, and then you've got international trips. Want to give
Mhm.
me just a rundown of kind of a variety of different things people might want to do?
Yes, yes. So our regional trips are ones that we plan and host in house, and those go anywhere from up to we've done Harrison Hot Springs, British Columbia. Overnight trips up there, day trips to Vancouver, BC, to Granville Island, over to Victoria. We go down to Ocean Shores, do overnight trips down to Ocean Shores. We do what we call the northwest the Northwest Loop. Is that what we call it? But anyways, it goes like up to Winthrop and over to Lake Chelan and then to Leavenworth, and spend a night in Chelan, go to Leavenworth and do that for a weekend, and or a couple days during the week. And so those are some of our kind of overnighters. We have a lot that go to Seattle for Fifth Avenue and Paramount Theater. Shenyang, we have a trip going to Shenyang that's sold out already. And just 2 or 3 days ago, on that real nice sunny day, we had a full group go down to the Space Needle and Chihuly and check out the Space Needle with their new glass floor. If you haven't been in the last few years, it's a whole
Oh,
new experience. Check it out. Yeah. So,
okay.
so some of the local ones, we our next newsletter will be coming out here real soon for April, May, and June. And we're going to be going up to a greenhouse to do a tour of a greenhouse up near Blaine, and shopping in Fairhaven, and those kinds of trips. A little later, when the snow melts, we'll go back up to Mount Baker. We're going out to Cape Flattery in June. So those are all kind of a sampling of the places, and it's really awesome because, again, if you're new to the area and you don't even know where to start to go explore, it's like, well, just pick one of these trips, hop on, and you're going to go see it, and then you'll say, oh, okay, this is something I want to go back to, and you'll go back, or whatever it is. But also, we have a lot of older adults who either don't drive anymore or they don't like driving off island on I-5. That's a pretty intense drive. We're having to find parking in Seattle. We have people who will book their tickets and go with us to the plays just because they don't have to deal with parking, and it's fabulous. We're here to do all of that for you. So, and then like you said, we do have some out of state, out of town international trips, and we work with a company called Colette, and they put those trips together for us, and they do a great job. We've got a group of people right now traveling back from Georgia. They went on the Southern Charm trip this week. So they went to South Carolina, Jekyll Island, and Georgia, and they're coming home today. And then also today we have people leaving to go to Costa Rica. So they're passing in the night today. A group coming and a group going. Yeah. Unless your bags are packed, you've got the right shirt on, got your swimsuit ready to roll.
In my bag, I'm good, honey.
Costa Rica, you should always have a go bag if you get the chance to go to Costa Rica, right?
We went about 15 years ago, and it was a fabulous experience down there. So yeah,
it's one of my favorite places we've been is Costa Rica. But like Greece, you guys went to Greece. We're doing a trip to Greece. Just two more ladies just came in yesterday to sign up, and see that's another great thing because they're both single ladies and said, oh, if we sign up together, we can do the double rate, save some money, be roommates, and off we go. So you definitely don't have to be traveling with a companion to come and to participate in these international trips. And it's a great thing, right? Because maybe that's kind of overwhelming for some people to try to plan an international trip and travel alone, but you don't have to do any of the work. We provide everything from pick up here at the center, back here at the end of the trip to your hometown. And Portugal's coming next year. You can sign up for Portugal now too. So those are kind of what we call our extended travel.
Wow, that is fantastic. Yeah. I'm old enough I can join the seniors center. So as much as I was in denial for years, there's no getting around it.
Yeah, there's no reason to be in denial. This is a fun place and a lot of great things going on, and a lot to do, right? And I think you're in the prime of all the fun, right?
So far, after spending several weeks in Mexico over the holidays, it was pretty awesome. About getting out of town. And do you guys plan a lot of trips over the winter time for people to go somewhere warm?
Yeah, we do. That's a good time to leave and go somewhere warm and sunny. And so that's the plan. Sunny Portugal. That's the name of that trip, is Sunny Portugal, because
All
it's supposed to
right.
always be sunny there.
May have to take a look at that one.
Yeah.
So before we wrap this up, I think I had one more question that was popped up was kind of how do you work with other organizations in our community to achieve some of these goals and working with seniors?
Yeah, that's our favorite part, is working with community organizations. So, kind of a big one and kind of a new one, and one that's really going to make some positive impacts is Island County Public Health has stepped in and said, you know what, we see falls are a major problem. That's the report we're getting from Whidbey Health. That's the report we're getting from kind of nationwide issues is falls, and us here on Whidbey Island as well, right? So they have started a coalition on fall prevention, and we participate in the coalition on fall prevention along with other entities like our friends at Island Senior Resources and our friends at the Camino Center over on Camino, because we can't forget that they're part of our county and part of our crew and team, and it's been so neat to meet together as all these organizations that serve older adults and Whidbey Health and the EMS is there, and say, okay, this is a major issue for our residents, and what can we do, and how can we help? And there's been some access to funding because of the county's involvement through other grants that the county has applied for to provide funds for fall prevention services and programs. And one of the things that we do annually is our resource fair in September. On the first day of fall, September 21st, we do a resource fair open to the community that really just outlines all of the resources that are available, which, physical therapists, occupational therapists, doctors come and pharmacists and people who sell special footwear and eye checks and just everyone here under one roof, and it's a great opportunity. And so that's also a big time that we work together with community organizations. But also we have our Oak Harbor Senior Center Foundation. They have been around since the 90s, and they're a 501c3, and their mission and goal is to support our programs here at the center. And so working with our foundation and the board there is amazing and integral to doing the work that we do and getting the funding. Puget Sound Energy, I would be amiss if I didn't say that they are always in our corner when there's something, a program that needs funded, like our lunch program right now on Thursdays. A lot of the funding for that came from Puget Sound Energy and from Island County, from the ARPA funds. So, it just is wonderful. And then local, just like a lot of local businesses really kind of just pitch in and help out whenever we reach out and say, hey, want to be involved in this event or this activity. Chris's Bakery gives us dozens of free donuts on Donut Day. That's June 2nd. Come for a free donut from Chris's, and Jeffrey Pleat at Edward Jones. And, they're just like, I couldn't even name everybody who just is involved in making our program successful here. Island Thrift. If you're doing some spring cleaning, you grab all that stuff and you take it to Island Thrift, and that the money that they get from it is going to good places. They help sustain us and support us with a monthly contribution. So, it really takes a community to do the work that we do. And the great thing is we have that community here on Whidbey Island. It's amazing. And I know that after this conversation, I'll think of everyone else we're partnering with and say, oh no, and I didn't say them. But that's how wonderful it is, because we couldn't do the work we do without our community partners. So we're really, really grateful.
Well, that's fantastic. That's what I love about living on this island. It is a fantastic community, and so many people reaching out to help one another, and really makes a difference for the quality of life. And what you're doing is fantastic for the quality of life of our seniors in our community. So,
Yeah.
All right. So before we wrap up, I think you have a couple of events coming up that you wanted to mention in the near future here.
Sure do. So we've got our wearable art show. This is the second time we've done it. If you've never heard of one, Google it. Ask ChatGPT to tell you about wearable art. But it's a runway show, and we have some fabulous entries that just amazing. So anyone in the community was invited to participate and create an ensemble, an outfit. We ask that you use some repurposed material. The theme this year is foliage. It's on Earth Day, April 22nd. And so these outfits are coming together really beautifully. And so tickets are on sale at ohscfoundation.org. That's Oak Harbor Senior Center Foundation.org. And for $60, you get a drink ticket. You get dinner catered by Ghirardelli, and such a fun show. And it's all a fundraiser for the services that we do here. And actually, some of the funds we'll be using. The fire department reached out to us talking about how we collaborate and help each other. They reached out and said, hey, we have a lot of older adults who call because they're having a fall, right? An issue we know about, or a medical emergency inside of their home. And we have to respond to their home. And when we get there, we can't get in and they can't get to the door. So we're breaking doors, we're breaking windows to get in. And now that poor individual who's most likely having to go to the hospital for care has to also deal with fixing their broken windows, broken doors. There's a product that our EMS can use that is a lockbox that you can put on your house, put a spare key in. They have a code for it. They can get into it. And they said, but these boxes are kind of expensive, and there are people who call us, that we've been to their home several times, but we know they can't afford this box, but they also can't afford to keep fixing their window. And so the foundation has set aside some funds, and we're going to use some of the funds from the wearable art show to purchase more of these Knox box, these lock box that people can get. And then the fire department will put them at some homes of some older adults that they know are in need of them. as kind of a lease program. And then when they're not needed there anymore, they'll get them and they'll pass them on to someone else in the community. But they said they have need for at least a dozen of them, and they're a couple hundred each. So, that's something, another thing we're working on partnering with and getting funds for. So you can come and have fun and know you're supporting some really good causes there. And the city of Oak Harbor is also hosting a open house at City Hall on April 19th from 4 to 6. It's a chance for the public to come in and go through those doors that usually are closed for staff only during, COVID, and kind of see the inner workings of City Hall and what keeps this fabulous city going, and, meet the finance director, talk to the planning department, meet our wonderful HR team, just see the faces behind the utility payments you make, those kinds of things, and really learn about how City Hall works, which I think is going to be really great.
Yeah. Well, speaking of those lock boxes, I actually we just had somebody, one of our teams from Hearts and Hammers, went out and repaired a door for somebody that had that exact thing happen. Was they had to call 911, they fell down and they couldn't get to the door, so the fire department had to bust one of the panels in the door out so they could get in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's, they see that and they say, okay, we don't want to make more of a problem. We want to be a solution. How can we, prevent that? And they always say, we try hard to maybe put something on it before we leave, but we know we're leaving them with something they have to deal with. Oh, Hearts and Hammers for the win.
That was an easy, really. That was one of the easiest ones. So yeah, we're ramping up for our big work day, May 20th. So we're looking for volunteers. Anybody out there want to come help do repairs on some homes for some disabled and senior. A lot of them are seniors that have health issues and financial tough times. We're doing repairs and cleanup to keep their homes safe for them. So on May 20th.
Do you need experience, or you'll take anyone?
We'll take pretty much anyone. We need, we do need people that have some construction skills. We have a house captain for every project, and those are pretty much all contractors, handyman around town. But we have projects that involve yard cleanup and painting and stuff. So we can put just about everybody to work. I actually need, some young people that have tech skills just to go and take pictures of each project and text them or email them to one of our people. Will be assembling a slideshow to put together at the dinner that we're going to do at the end of the day. I'm really looking for, half a dozen people just to go to the different sites and take some pictures throughout the day and send them in. So there's a little bit of, we have people for a little bit of everything.
Yeah, what a fun and easy way to participate. And, those taking photos is actually just so essential and key into helping programs like this, not only for your slideshows, but be able to kind of have those visuals when you're going out for funding, grants and working in the community to show. It really does a lot. It speaks a lot of volume. So if you're someone who can take photos and be out there, know that the work you're doing is really, really just as important as the person holding the hammer. That's, it's a lot of the behind the scenes things that make it all possible is so important too. And it takes everybody.
It does. So what is the website for the center where people can find information on these classes and stuff?
Yes, come check it out at oakharbor.org. It's the city website, and we're listed there as senior services and also as the center in Oak Harbor. And that'll link you to our online our online site where you can register and pay for classes online, sign up for trips online, or you can come in and visit us. We always love to see you and chat with our ladies at the front desk, or give us a call. And it's also the same website and the same place where you can reserve parks and your parks shelters, the kitchens at Windjammer, at Fort Nugent. All of that can be done at oakharbor.org.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. So, yeah, and for Hearts and Hammers, as long as I'm talking about it, it is NW as in North Whidbey, heartsandhammers.org. And we have a place there where people can sign up to be volunteers. We're also going to be walking in the Holland Happening Parade. We'd love to have as many people come join us as we can and have a great showing just to raise awareness. And the month is not over. Ace Hardware is doing a roundup for Hearts and Hammers. As long as we're talking about it, I got to throw my pitch in. So if you go shopping at Ace Hardware, they'll ask you to round up. We greatly appreciate it. We need the funds to pay for repairs that we're going to do on all these homes. We're doing, I think, 13 homes this year. So it'll be a fantastic day on May 20th.
Yeah, see, that just speaks again to overcoming one of those issues of housing. Because if you can keep a house livable and affordable for our older adults and keep them housed, that's exactly what we need to do. And we know that Hearts and Hammers does that really well. And also, you do work to help people age in place, right? You'll do things like ramps and grab bars and those types of things
Yep.
as well as part of your help. And that's all. See, another community organization that that's what we've got to work with to make sure we're meeting all the needs of our community.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, Liz, that's 45 minutes. I think we'll about ready to wrap up and move on with the day.
Sounds good. It's looking like it's going to be a good one out there.
I accept, because the last couple weren't so great.
Right, right. So we'll be outside for this one, that's for sure.
Yeah. So thank you so much for taking your time to be on here with me, and have a fabulous day.
Thank you, Reed. Thanks for the invite. Have a great day, everybody.
Take care, Liz. Okay, well, that wraps up another edition of Whidbey Island Living. I'm Reed Schwartz with Keller Williams, and you have an amazing Whidbey Island day.